Well, the efforts are continuing in the Michigan legislature to repeal no-fault insurance. And in this week's Know the Law segment, Attorney Tom Sinus joining us with a closer look at a different version of a House bill. This one, 5675, overall addressing the same topic we've been talking about a long time, though, no-fault insurance.
Well, it's an add-on to the subject that you and I talked about a few weeks ago. What was that? We talked about the fact that there's an effort in Lansing to completely eliminate Michigan's no-fault system. And what that means, as we discussed, is that if Michigan would return to what's called a tort liability state. That means that any damages that you suffer in an auto accident crash, you have to recover those from the at-fault driver. Everything from damage to your car to all your medical bills, lost wages, etc. All right, well, something that got very little attention is a bill called House Bill 5675. And this was introduced by Representative Shepard out of Monroe. And this bill would cap all damages in all auto accident cases, regardless of how significant the damages actually are for the individual person. It would cap all those damages and prevent people from recovering, under most circumstances, any more than $280,000. There's a limited exception for people who become quadriplegics or have a brain injury, but even those people are limited in their recovery to $500,000. So what would this mean? This would mean if we no longer had no-fault insurance, and if someone was catastrophically injured by a drunk driver, and that drunk driver, as luck would have it, had $1 million or $2 million in insurance coverage, and every bit of that insurance coverage was needed to take care of that person for the rest of their life, under Representative Shepard's bill, that catastrophically injured person would be limited to $500,000, no matter the circumstances. These are what we call damage caps. And if this bill were to become law with the no-fault repeal, that's the world that we would live in. And what does that mean? Well, it really means that people who sit as jurors in these cases have their rights as jurors taken away from them. Because what do we ask jurors to do? Well, we ask jurors to evaluate the issues of who's responsible, and then we ask them to evaluate, for who's responsible, what is fair compensation. These damage caps work in the background. If you're on a jury and you don't know, you will not be told there's a damage cap. And you may render an award that you think is appropriate for those circumstances. And if a bill like this were to become law, that damage cap would be imposed and the jury award would be cut at the level of the cap. So this is something that people need to be aware of, because if this were to pass, then the one thing that everyone has to do to protect their families is to purchase what's called underinsured motorist coverage. We've talked about that before. We'll talk about it again. It is one of the most important things you can buy, and if this bill becomes law, everybody needs it.
The belief on the other side would be at least it would lower our premiums, then you would maybe have more money to buy one of those. That's the belief, at least, the reason, the push behind it.
Sure, I'm sure that's what Representative Shepard would say, but I'll tell you that in his bill there is no promise to lower anyone's premiums by any certain amount.
It's certainly a sensitive subject. Tom, where can people find you?
They can find us West Michigan, 616-301-3333. Online at www.sinusstramus.com, or shoot us an email at info@sinusstramus.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.